guys, I'm here today to do a book review, and that is for The Siren by Kiera Cass. I actually really enjoyed this book. Like, there's some parts that I was a bit iffy about and I didn't think were fleshed out enough because this book is actually quite small, but I did really enjoy the story concept and the idea, and there's not actually that many Siren books out there. Like, I used to think there was a lot, but there's actually not really, like, it's not as widespread as some other of the mythical species that are out there, so it's really exciting to have, like, another book that's part of, like, the Siren world. And I think there's, like, about 2 other books that I have on like my wish list that I want to buy eventually that have sirens in them, so it's only like 4 things that have sirens really, because Wake's another one. But this book is really interesting and I had a lot of fun reading it and I just really enjoyed it. I'll also tell you guys now, this book review won't have any spoilers in it. Well, I hope they're not spoilers. I'm not going to say anything about the big things that happen in the end. Not that there is big things, but you know, I don't want to talk about too many of the key plot points that could like spoil your reading experience. But anyway, let's get into the review. So with this book, I think the sirens were like written really well. Like, it's a really interesting concept because this version of sirens, what happens is the ocean is actually like a living being and a person, and the sirens call her, so she doesn't have a name, it's just her. So the ocean is alive, and what happens is she has to kill people at sea so then she can keep living. Like, she needs to eat people in a sense so that she can keep going on with her life and keep living and keep being able to provide the ocean for every other person in the world. And sometimes when she has the ships crash, because the sirens are there to sing to the people to make the ships crash and everyone jump overboard. But what's interesting about it is sometimes there'll be some girls that sort of fight and sort of don't want to be there, and she gives them the chance to be a siren. And what that entails is they have to help her feed, they have to stay with her for 100 years. Like, it's 100 years of servitude for her saving their lives. They have to get rid of all the ties to their old family. And another thing is they can't talk to people because like the sirens like song, even if they're just speaking to people normally, can make them just jump in the ocean. But also having this is that the women get to be practically immortal. They don't grow older, they don't get sick, they don't get hurt, and they can swim under the water. And they also like have extra strength and just some few little things like that. So it's probably not a trade like I would want to do, because I wouldn't want to like leave my whole family and die and be a siren and help kill a lot of people. And that's kind of what the main character Kaylin feels, but she's been in service for 80 years and she still can't get over the fact that these people are dying because of her, and she has so much like regret and hate and hurt over it. And it's like really interesting having like a main character who's so far along into like their mythical being. Like, most of the time you get the stories when the person just becomes a siren or just becomes a vampire or a werewolf and they don't know what they're doing, but Kaylin knows what she's doing and she has like the level of knowledge that she regrets her decisions, which I really liked in this book, which was like really interesting and made it a fun read. I really did like Kaylin as an alien character. Like, she was so fun and complex, and like what I really like about the sirens too is so they can communicate with each other when there's humans around is they learn sign language, which I thought was like a really cool idea and like so cool, like to bring in this like diversity of like sign language. Like, I really like that. But with Kaylin, I also like the fact that she people watched all the time. Like, she'd go to like colleges and just, you know, sit there and pretend she was one of the students so she could paint them and draw them and like draw the fashion, and she really liked seeing the fashion changes, and she liked like society changes as well and seeing things come back when they were popular years ago. Like, Kiera Cass did a really good job like developing this whole idea of like really seeing time go along. And most of it, like, I know a lot of books can do this, but it's some authors can't do it and some can, and I think Kiera Cass did a really good job with that. I also really liked the sisterly bond that was happening with like all the sirens, because there was 4 of them, and you know, you get to see how they like go with their level of how long their sentence is. Like, a few of them are very close to it, a few of them are just starting, and it's like just there was such good friendship and sisterly like love between them. Like, they all cared about each other so much, and they also really cared about the ocean as well, and she cared about them. Like, they were pretty much her children and she just wanted to look after them like all the time. And I really also like that concept. Like, the ocean was a very neutral character, because like her killing people was bad, but like thinking about it, that if she didn't, she would just, the whole planet would be destroyed. So it was kind of the lesser of 2 evils with this, and it was like, just, I really liked that. Like, there was such like, even though this book was short, there was just, you could really delve into this whole good versus evil versus what the hell am I doing. And I also just want to talk about the sort of like love interest character in this book, and his name is very weird. It's Akin. Akinley. See, this is the spelling, if you can see it. You probably couldn't see that then, but it's Akinley. Oh, I don't know. I actually really liked him and the fact that he went up to Kaylin and like started a conversation with her and didn't even figure out that she wasn't responding to him or really like really accepting that he was there, but he kept trying. Like, I really liked that about Akinley. I can't speak. Is that he kept trying with Kaylin. And one thing that annoyed me with this book though is like, I was waiting for their romance to be like a really big factor of this book, but it definitely took a back seat, and this book definitely was more about Kaylin, and I really enjoyed that, her like digging into her feelings and the way that she handles things, and like Akinley was there, but like I wanted more. Like, for me as a reader who loves romance, like romance in fantasy books is like the best thing ever, and like any book I read, I'm always looking for romance. So like when there's books when it's like it's not gonna happen, I'm just like, I still ship everything. But I definitely just, their relationship was really like really good and lovely, and just it's very nice to read, and I really enjoyed that as well. It's my review. It's a bit small, but I didn't want to tell you too much about what happens in the end. And just saying though, I did think this book summed up very well for being only a standalone of this size, but I definitely really enjoyed it. It was one of my anticipated reads for 2016, and I'm so happy I finally got to it, and I really enjoyed it. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye!